Hey everyone, this isn't a very official looking video. I'm just using my iPhone, but as some of you know, I live in Anchorage, Alaska, and tonight I was visiting the GameStop over here in North Anchorage in what we call Tikahtnu. It's a little shopping center. I was shopping around. I went to Target, went to Spirit Halloween, a couple local places, and then I went to my local GameStop because I was going to finish my pre-order payoff for WWE 2K19. So I get in and I'm browsing around a little bit. And one of the associates talks to me, asked me if I needed anything, told her I was just kind of browsing at the moment. And as I was walking towards the back, towards the PS4 games, this person was touching these furry boots or something like that. They were sitting on top of one of the four-ways. And she hit them and it knocked over those and some additional product. And then the associate to my left, who's behind the counter, says, "Oh, don't worry, that happens every other day." 2 seconds after that, this massive crash comes in behind me. And I've got my back turned towards the doors. And for a half a second, I think this guy's just mocking her by knocking something over. But very quickly, I realized that was not the case. I turned my head to see this huge blue Jeep blasting through the door at probably about 15 miles an hour. It just misses a boy and his father on the right. From my perspective, on the right, they jump back. They're about a foot from this vehicle. The vehicle is crushing through a lot of the center aisles, all the pop figures, and I have a lady on either side of me, and I'm looking at them to make sure they're backing up because we're quickly running out of space. I mean, it's shrinking quickly. If you've ever been in the North Anchorage GameStop, you know that's a very tiny place. To walk through an aisle, it has to be one person at a time. You can't even walk shoulder to shoulder. So as we're backing up, the Jeep is still just plowing through everything, and finally it hits the wall and stops. And there's about 5 feet in between me and the bumper of this vehicle. The place is a mess. A couple of people are crying. The child is hysterical. Here's the photo. This is where, the Jeep crashed through, and this is kind of where it finally stopped. Now the driver, we quickly made our way to her, got the door open, got her out. She must have been under some sort of medical condition. I don't know if she lost consciousness or what, but she was barely coherent when we got her out of the vehicle, but she was fine. Everyone else in GameStop was fine. I didn't get the full details on her condition, but we were able to walk her out. Well, other people are able to walk her out. I was actually pinned behind the counter in the Jeep. I actually had to be let out the back doors in order to get out of GameStop. But when I got back around, I saw that she was sitting with police. She was responding. She seemed to be okay. Of course, we shut off the car. Somebody was talking about removing the battery so the place doesn't catch on fire, but that seemed a little excessive, and we obviously wanted to wait for paramedics and fire trucks to get there and not really touch anything because you're going to be taking photos for the scene, getting reports, all these things. But it was crazy. That was definitely one of the craziest shopping experiences I've ever had. I've never been that close to a car accident, and just have something blast the doors. And with your back turned, it was kind of crazy because I wasn't even scared. I remember looking to make sure everybody else was okay because there was about 10 people in there, and that's kind of crammed for a location that size. But I ended up sharing the same photo that I showed you, and KTVA, our local news station, KTVA 11, they gave me a shout on Facebook Messenger, said, "Hey, can we use your photo?" And they, we also talked about an interview, so they actually drove out to find me to do this interview, which ended up getting published just about an hour ago, I think. But it was crazy. It was wild just to think, one moment you're browsing video games, the next thing you know, you're running from a wild car. But yeah, so that's just kind of my story. Everybody, like I said, is fine, just really more or less shaken up. But I hope that lady's okay. She looked a little worse for wear, and I don't know what the impact was for her. I don't know what the physical harm was from hitting, blasting through the door. I will say, and this is only funny because nobody got hurt, but that Jeep looked in phenomenal condition for blasting through a bunch of windows and a door frame and slamming into a wall. There was zero damage on that Jeep. I mean, there were scratches from glass that hit the hood, but there wasn't a single dent on there. You wouldn't even know that that car was just in an accident. It was absolutely bizarre. And I know that's a weird thing to notice in the midst of people freaking out and trying to help a lady out of a car, but you really couldn't help but notice because you're right there. So, of course, now some of the pages like 907 Gamers and things like that are making tons of hilarious memes. I've been kind of laughing all night about it. It's funny. But yeah, everybody's good. It was a wild experience. You know, check it out. I'm sure it'll be on KTVA soon enough. And I'll talk at you guys later.